Honestly, could there be anything better than finding an entire bag of chocolates in the back of your pantry? Well, in my case, I just found an entire bag of vegan chocolates in the back of my pantry. Hey there, everybody. I am Scott, and welcome to my Time Machine Kitchen. Today, obviously, I am taste testing every chocolate that was in that bag. I've got fancy chocolate bars from a Swiss chocolatier called Neuchâtel Chocolates in Oxford, Pennsylvania. I've got vegan Hershey treats, like their chocolate bars and peanut butter cups, and I've got some wild cards from places like Trader Joe's and Lindt. This is sort of a dream taste test come true for chocolate lovers, especially vegan chocolate lovers like me, but I did want to say a few things before we get started. One, these chocolates, at least some of them, are over a year old. I kind of did the math and I got them 2 Easters ago. And you know how like older chocolate can be. Sometimes that bloom leaves a little bit of white stuff on the chocolate, and sometimes it's just not as good as fresh chocolate. So I will definitely take that into account as I'm taste testing all of these chocolates. The second thing is I'm gonna do this taste test over a few days. Chocolate has a lot of caffeine in it, and the last thing I wanna do is eat basically what could be 2 to 3 or 4 cups of coffee. That would not be good for me, it would not be good for you, and it's definitely not good for this video because I will probably be talking like this. But anyways, I will do this taste test over a few days. To make this interesting, I think I'll pit some of the chocolates against each other. Let's put the expensive Swiss vegan dark chocolate bar with hazelnuts against a Hershey bar with almonds and sea salt. Then this Hue cashew butter filled bar versus a Reese's peanut butter cup. And let's do a battle of oats. I've got this fancy crunchy oat milk bar, a Lindt oat milk truffle, and a Trader Joe's oat chocolate bar. Finally, I know dark chocolate is polarizing, but I love it, so I'm excited to see which I like better. This Swiss dark chocolate bar or this Lindt non-dairy dark chocolate truffle. First up, these two, and this is the nutty version of our taste test because both of these chocolate bars contain nuts. So this one is from a very fancy little Swiss chocolatier in Pennsylvania. We were on our way back from Amish country, saw a sign for homemade chocolates, and of course we had to pull over, and this little boutique chocolatier was gorgeous. It was like nestled in an old farm. The little shop was beautiful. You can tell just from the packaging that it's really nice, beautiful Swiss chocolates. I loved that place. I'll put the link below to where we got it because he does have an online sort of shop. But anyways, here it is. This one is vegan dark chocolate with hazelnuts. And now the real test of this one is going to be, does the chocolate look old? Has it bloomed? And it does not. Look at this. This looks like fresh from the store. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I love hazelnuts, so I have a feeling I'm going to like this. The hazelnuts are nice and crunchy. They're very little pieces, so it's not like you get a big chunk of hazelnut in there, so it provides like nice little crunch for you when you're eating it. Even though this says dark chocolate, it tastes like milk chocolate, so it's a little on the sweeter side, but the chocolate does come through. This is delicious. I cannot believe this is over a year old. So if I was gonna rate this 1 to 5 Oompa-Loompas, 5 right out of the gate. This is amazing. 5 Oompa-Loompas. So it's interesting that this Swiss chocolatier is based in Pennsylvania because many of you probably know that Hershey's is also based in Pennsylvania. I go to Hershey Park probably once every few years. It's so much fun. Take the kids. It's a blast if you can get there. So this chocolate bar is chocolate with, let's see, it says extra creamy almonds and sea salt. That sounds great. I'm betting that this one has quite a bit of bloom on it. This is much cheaper chocolate. Yeah, I can see it just as not too bad though, I gotta say. You can mostly see it on the back, but I gotta admit, that's not too bad. I mean, this should be just fine. Okay, let's see. The sea salt definitely comes through. That's very nice. You can definitely taste the little bits of almond. Again, they're little bits of almond, not big chunks of almond. You don't get a lot of chocolate, I gotta admit. It's kind of what I remember from the Hershey bars. You get a lot more sweetness than you get chocolate. And that's kind of what I'm getting with this one as well. So I would give this a solid 3 Oompa Loompas out of 5. I'm grateful that Hershey's has tiptoed into the vegan world because it just makes these kinds of chocolates accessible to more people, especially those of people who might be lactose intolerant, who might be vegan by choice. I just think it's great to find these bars at Target and regular grocery stores. That's quite a change from when I first went vegan, for sure. I will say, even back in the day when I would eat chocolate bars, or when I had my choice of chocolate bars, Hershey bars were never my choice. I always thought they were way too sweet, and I just didn't love the flavor. The only time I liked them was when they were on a s'more. I do wish these were a little bit more affordable. They're about $3.50, I think I paid for this one. I paid $7.50 for the vegan fancy chocolate, and clearly this one was worth the extra cash. Next up, we have a battle of the nut butter treats. We have this Hue bar, and then we have something that just warms my heart whenever I see it. It's a veganized version of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, or I used to love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups when I was a kid. This was like the score in my Halloween pail. I was over the moon when I saw that Hershey's had veganized these. So let's start with this. You can probably already tell I have had these before. So the bloom that I was talking about earlier, because this is an old bag of chocolates, is there, but it's not too bad. I don't think it's going to affect the taste too much, but let's see. The saltiness really comes through, which is part of why I think I loved the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups so much when I was a kid. I love that kind of salty treat. It is not very creamy on the inside, but that's probably my fault because these are old chocolates. But like I mentioned, I have had these before, and they're not super reminiscent of what I remember Reese's Peanut Butter Cups to taste like. But I'm glad we have a vegan version now, wow. I'm glad we have a vegan version now. This was pretty expensive, $3. To be honest with you, for $3, I would rather make my own vegan Reese's Peanut Butter Cups because they're not really hard to do. So I'll eat it. So you've probably seen these Hue bars around. They've got them at Whole Foods. I've seen them at Target. They're about $6, and Hue, if I'm even saying that right, is all about organic and fair trade ingredients. This is a cashew butter bar. It says nut butter filled, pure vanilla bean, dark chocolate, vegan and paleo friendly. Okay. I like that it's a little pouch. You just reach on in and pull out your Hue bar. Oh, which is also packaged. There we go. That's nice. Wonder why they put it in a little why did they put it in the envelope if they were going to go ahead and package it? That's so weird. All right, let's break into this. Got a little bit of that bloom there. Let's taste one square. There's the middle. See, the problem with these older chocolates having a filling is the filling can probably dry out, like with the peanut butter cup. It's very bitter. Of course, the filling is not very creamy anymore because this is an old chocolate bar, but I do taste a little bit of that cashew butter. I'm not a super fan of cashew butter. I would definitely give this candy bar 2 Oompa Loompas, generously, and I would give this 2.5. So our Reese's Peanut Butter Cup vegan version wins out this one. It is time now for a triple face-off, and it is a battle of the oat milks. So I've got my fancy chocolate from Pennsylvania, and this actually says vegan crunchy oat milk, gluten-free. That's kind of cool. I've got my oat chocolate bar from Trader Joe's, and then I've got this oat milk Lindt truffle. I love truffles so much, but I'm not choosing any favorites right now. So I want to start off with the Trader Joe's bar. These are about $2, and this actually, the ingredients actually say crushed oats. So I'm not sure if this is going to be like crunchy, or maybe they just use the crushed oats to make oat milk, because the description is a smooth and creamy texture without the milk. Okay. So you know what? This is reminiscent of what I remember the old Hershey chocolate bars tasting like. They're right. This is a nice creamy texture, and a little bit of that oat flavor does come through. There's no crushed oats in this, so they must have used the crushed oats to make the oat milk, which makes sense. But this is actually really good. I would go for this in a pinch for if I needed a little hit of chocolate in the afternoon with my coffee. I would totally go for this. I would give this little chocolate bar 4 out of 5 Oompa-Loompas. Very good, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's always comes through. It is now truffle time. This is our Lindt oat milk truffle. I have a feeling this is going to be delicious. Lindt always does a great job. I used to love Lindt chocolates. Barely any bloom on that, so this still feels nice and fresh. That is signature Lindt. Lindt is really known for like the mouthfeel of their chocolate. Like you put it in your mouth and it just melts, and the textures and the experience and all that kind of thing. Well, they knocked it out of the park with their vegan versions of their chocolates. This is delicious. It's very sweet to me though. I don't remember, it doesn't taste as rich. That's what I'm trying to get at. It doesn't taste as rich as what I remember Lindt chocolate truffles tasting like back in the day. So with that, it's still delicious, but I would give this a 3.5 Oompa-Loompas. Okay. I forgot to mention, these are probably about 75 cents to $1. You go to the store and you kind of pick each one you want, and you put it in a bag, and then you pay for it. So that's about 75 cents. And like I said, this was a little over $2. However, you get 3 in a box. It comes in a box like this, and you get 3 of them. So that's a pretty good deal. Next up is our fancy Neuchâtel, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, Neuchâtel. Oh my God, I'm gonna mess it up so much. Let's say Neuchâtel Chocolatier in Pennsylvania. All right, and this bar also was about $7.50. A little bit of a different envelope in this one, I think. This one opens from the side and it's nice and taped down. So it opens up like that and you slide the chocolate out. Very cool. Totally Willy Wonka feeling when you rip it open like this. All right, this one's supposed to have a little bit of a crunch to it. I definitely taste the little crunchies in there, and that's kind of a nice texture-wise. But it's very sweet. I know you probably keep hearing me say, well, Scott, it's a chocolate bar. But you know, some chocolate bars don't necessarily have to be overly sweet. I am surprised that this one tastes overly sweet. So as far as rating it, I would give it 2.5 Oompa-Loompas. And you know, I do think it's funny that I'm rating these in Oompa-Loompas because of course that's associated with Willy Wonka. Well, actually the chocolatier who runs this little shop in Pennsylvania, he's known as the Willy Wonka of Pennsylvania. So how cute is that? So the winner of our Oat Milk Challenge chocolate bar is Trader Joe's, and they deserve it. This is a creamy bar. It is definitely one that you should reach for if you ever want that little kick of chocolate with your coffee, with your dessert, whatever you want to do. I bet you could even melt these down pretty easily and use them in baking and that kind of thing. So good job, Trader Joe's. These are delicious, and you are the clear winner of our Oat Milk Challenge. Dark chocolates have come to the rescue of vegans for a very long time. And by that I mean, back in the day before there were all sorts of non-dairy options available to us, we always knew that dark chocolate was our best bet for finding something that was accidentally vegan. We'd see that dark chocolate in the store, flip it over, read the ingredients, and sometimes there was no milk or whey or dairy products in it, and we knew we were good to go. Thankfully, today we have very clear dark chocolate vegan options. And this, of course, is our dark chocolate and our final round. So I have my vegan dark chocolate with coconut bar from my fancy Neuchâtel chocolatier. And then I have these Lindt dark chocolate truffles. Okay, let's try this first. How pretty is that? And this one smells really like dark chocolate. That is really delicious. I don't get much of the coconut, to be honest with you. It's just a very smooth, rich chocolate experience. It just melts in your mouth. Something that I really love about these fancy chocolates is that there are very few ingredients in them, and they're all ingredients that you know what they are. Like I've got coconut sugar, cocoa butter, ground coconut flakes. I mean, I know what all those things are, and I'm not afraid to eat them. So what I would give this, I would totally give, sorry, this is 5. 5 Oompa-Loompas. And now our dark chocolate truffle from Lindt. All the things that I said about the other truffle, the mouthfeel, the way it melts, the taste, the sweetness, the chocolate, it is delicious. I actually think I like this a little bit more than the oat milk chocolate truffle. Don't get me wrong, they're both delicious. The only thing I'm gonna ding this on is it tastes more, it doesn't taste very much like a dark chocolate truffle. It's still good, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5 Oompa-Loompas. Okay, that was a lot of chocolate, but that was a lot of fun. And just to show you that I'm not a total pig, over the last few days as I've been eating these chocolates, I haven't devoured the whole chocolate treat, except for the truffles. I've just been putting them all and all the wrappers into this bowl, so you can see there's little bits of chocolate everywhere. I'll kind of weed through this and see which ones I really like. That Hue bar is totally out of there, but the ones that I did like, I will be pulling out. And just a reminder, the ones that I did like, I think the Neuchâtel bars are the clear winner, so I will definitely put the link to that place. Neuchâtel chocolates in Oxford, Pennsylvania, absolutely delicious. I think I gave them all more than 4 and some a 5. I know there was one in there that I didn't rate as high, but clearly they know what they're doing when it comes to vegan chocolates. But the really go-to find, I think, that is pretty accessible to everyone is the Trader Joe's oat bars. These were absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I call this my time machine kitchen because I'm always cooking retro recipes and going back in old recipe books and that kind of thing. And you are always welcome in my time machine.